Continuing coverage now, time is ticking for the Michigan Democrats to pass priority legislation before they're done for the year. The state house has just 2 more scheduled session dates.
But any legislation they want to enact needs to be passed by Wednesday so the Senate can vote on it. Our David Sackreiter has been following this lame duck period closely. And David, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are becoming frustrated with the process.
Absolutely. It seems like no one in Lansing is excited about what's happening right now, something that's especially true for Republicans who walked off the floor about a quarter of the way through session on Friday.
As we looked at the agenda, we began to see a political agenda, the political agenda to pay back their donors and to bankrupt the state. And it got to a point where we just could not be part of that process.
Representative Phil Green says they've begun referring to the unusual Friday session as Black Friday, with more than 50 bills passed, many of which came during the 10 hours that Republicans were off the floor.
That type of stuff shows you that the Democratic Party that's in control of the House, it just is not serious. The Democratic trifecta was not serious in dealing with problems.
On the other side of the aisle, Democrats are voicing similar concerns, taking to social media to air grievances in regards to what was not brought to a vote.
Out of respect to the speaker and the leadership team, I'll keep any, agreements or disagreements within the caucus room. But I think the anger and disappointment that a lot of people feel comes from looking around at, our state, right, where we're proud of how much we've done, but we're also looking at how much more there is to do.
Representative Jasper Martis points out that it's hard to pass bipartisan legislation when one party is not even involved.
When Republicans walked out, that they kind of walked away from the negotiating table. So I could understand their frustration that we haven't fixed this yet, but I don't think it was appropriate to take their ball and go home.
Voting no and not voting are the same thing. They still need 56 votes in order to pass anything. Abstaining from voting to show the ridiculousness of what they are voting on, I think is just as important.
And at the center of all of this, including why Republicans walked out, is a fight over preventing the elimination of the tipped minimum wage. Representative Martis says that's something a majority of lawmakers on both sides have actually neared a consensus on. He expects a deal will be eventually reached, but not until Republicans take over the House in January. In studio, David Sackreiter, ABC 12 News.